What's cooking, everybody? I'm David Porkchop, and this is Top 10 Underrated Looney Tunes Characters. Okay, now you're probably wondering what the heck am I talking about there? Well, I'm sure you probably know what the Looney Tunes are. It's a series of cartoons and characters dating back all the way to the 30s that Warner Brothers created with, these characters like Elmer Fudd and Bosco and this and that there. And then you get more popular characters coming up later, like Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, Sylvester and Tweety, Wile E. Coyote, and the Roadrunner. Characters like that. And there's a whole flock of them, and they've endured for many, many years, and still continue onwards to this very day, in some way, shape, or form. There with like that new show Wabbit, which I've seen a little bit of. It's okay. It's better than a lot of the other crap they have out there, but I just haven't got around to watching more of them there. But yeah, there's certain Looney Tunes that have endured the test of time, and there's like a whole flock of merchandise of and whatnot there. And then there's some that maybe not got the attention that they should have gotten there, at least during their initial run. I mean, they might have a lot of cameos and maybe even some merchandise made of them over the years and even recently and whatnot there. But for some reason, don't quite strike the chord with the casual fan. I mean, pretty much all animation and Looney Tunes fans love all these characters. Love to love them, love to hate them, whatever. But I'm just picking the ones that, in my humble opinion, though, probably, and under different circumstances, I can see them being added to the main pantheon of the Looney Tunes characters there. And in some people's eyes, maybe they are, or whatnot there. I don't know. I mean, this is just one guy, and I'm just one guy, and this is just my opinion there, you know? So here we go. Top 10 underrated Looney Tunes characters. But before we get to the list, I'm going to throw some honorable mentions out there, okay? Okay, first off, Michigan J. Frog. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, hold on, don't hurt me or my family or anything like that. It's just that Michigan J. Frog, he was in a handful of cartoons, he actually was in more than one cartoon there. He's had some cameos and whatnot after there, and he even became the mascot of the short-lived WB network, which transmutated and merged with UPN to become the CW. But, yeah, Michigan J. Frog. I get it. It's kind of a one-trick pony there, but still, he was very memorable. So you can't fault for that there. So that's why I put him on my honorable mention list there. Okay, let's see here. Mark Anthony and Pussyfoot. Now you've probably seen this cartoon before. The one with the bulldog and the little kitten. At first, the dog doesn't like the kitten, and then the kitten, gets on his back, scratches, makes a nice little cozy spot there. They become friends, and then at one point, the cat gets into some batter, and the dog is mortified, thinking that the little kitten has been eaten and turned into a cookie, and then the human actually gives him a cookie that's shaped like the cat, and he puts the... I don't know why I get so emotional thinking about that. It's so sad. I don't know. It's hilarious at the same time too, and it was homaged in Monsters Inc. That scene with Boo. Although there I think it is funnier, but in that one it was just so sad. But then ultimately things work out all right, and the cat's fine. And that Pussyfoot character has been on some merchandise. I have seen that cat in some merchandise lately there, even though it's the same color scheme as the cat from that's frequently in the Pepe Le Pew cartoons. There was no connection because this is a kitten we're talking about here, not a full-grown cat. And yes, and the bulldog's name is Mark Anthony, not to be confused with what most people probably think of when you think of Mark Anthony, though. These days, you think of Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband and the father of her kids. Me, because I'm Puerto Rican, I think of the great salsa singer and icon to my people, and a cool representative of New York there, but that's just me. All right, more honorable mentions there real quick. Claude Cat. He's that other cat that's kind of Sylvester, like yellow and red or yellow and orange or whatnot there. He had a few cartoons there, but typically there wasn't... I mean, I think that if they did some different characterization with him, I think it could have worked, but... have him be his own character, and I'm sure he is, and he's made some cameos and whatnot, I believe, but they already had Sylvester, so No reason to have that one there. Okay. Cool Cat. Yes, he's probably one of the most dated characters ever, but at the same time, I think if you tweaked him or whatever, I think it still could have worked there. And I think he's had some cameos recently as well. But I remember seeing these cartoons when they had reruns of it on the Warner Brothers, on the Looney Tunes on Nickelodeon, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" I always had that sense of, "What the heck am I watching?" But at the same time, I wasn't really angry about it. At first I was like, "Oh, come on! I want to see Bugs. I want to see Porky Pig. I want to see somebody else." But then this guy comes up and like, okay. You enjoy it while it is there, but then you're glad to get back to it there. But ultimately, no regrets with watching any of the cartoons. So why the heck not? All right, Hippity Hopper, the kangaroo that looks like a mouse. Enough said. Next, Bosco. I'm referring to the redesigned version of him that they did on Tiny Toons, which was pretty brilliant, I must say, though. His original version and all that. I saw some of those cartoons as a kid, and I didn't get it at first. I just thought it was like a ripoff of Mickey Mouse, and probably in a way that's what he was, but still, it's... Other than that clip where he says that dirty fuck in Bosco's picture show, I'm just not comfortable with that there. Oh, and like I said, the aforementioned redesign in Looney Tunes there. When Babs is trying to find her idol and ends up being a redesigned Honey from Honey and Bosco. Yeah. And the less said about his later redesign when he jumped ship to that other company, the better. All right, next. Finally, the last honorable mention there. Yes, we're finally almost at the list there. Chester and Arthur. The bulldog with the hat and the little puppy dog, Hey, you want to go chase a ball? You want to go chase a ball? Nah. Yeah, that would be fun. How about this? You want to go do this? You want to go do that? Nah. And just slaps him. And I just slapped the mic. Sorry. Wasn't my intention. Okay, but yeah, I mean, I first saw them on Daffy Duck's Fantastic Island, and I wanted to see more of them. And yeah, they had some cameos and some later stuff like not Tiny Toons. What am I thinking of? Space Jam. Would have liked to see more of them there, and who knows? We'll see what happens there. Okay, now finally on to the list. Number 10, Pete Puma. You're probably wondering who the heck is Pete Puma, but if I show you a picture of him, you'll probably be like, "Oh, okay," or maybe like, "Yeah, I've seen him before. Where is he? Where does he come from there?" But when I describe his character a little bit there, then you're gonna be like, "I remember that." Yeah, he only appeared in 3 classic cartoons in the classic period there, beginning with Rabbit's Kin in 1952. He's that Puma. He looks like a lion or whatever, but he has that weird breathing problem there where he's like, yeah. And there was a little, quick talking, quick bunny look-alike there that was annoying Bugs. And then, how many lumps do you want? Oh, 3 or 4. Now you know who I'm talking about. All right, but he's always popped up in he's had a lot of cameos and whatnot there. Like he was the janitor on Tiny Toons. He's popped up in things like Carablanca. He was in the audience in Space Jam. He's popped up in Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, and even the recent Looney Tunes show. So it's nice that they decided to take a chance on him and whatnot there, because mind you, some of the characters like Marvin the Martian and the Tasmanian Devil, they didn't make that many appearances in the classic era, but they made enough where they made a little bit of impression, and then they had merchandise and stuff done, and then later appearances and whatnot that solidified them as classic characters. Some people might call it artificial marketing or whatnot there, but when is marketing ever not artificial? But it came from an organic source, if that makes any sense there. I don't know if I'm making any sense there, but I'm rambling. I'm getting off topic there. But yeah, Pete Puma, number 10. Number 9, Playboy Penguin. Yeah, you've seen this little character before. He's only appeared in 2 classic cartoons there, beginning with Frigid Hair in 1949. He's a little penguin that cries ice cubes. He's got the little top hat on and the bow tie, hanging out with Bugs. Really cute character, I could see him adding to the pantheon there. I mean, if they're gonna try to do something like the way that they've been doing lately with like Marvel, with like a female Thor, and then the other young Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and stuff like that, trying to diversify and get all these different type of characters as these new redesigns and the new versions of all these characters. Why not do something like that with the Warner Brothers, with the Looney Tunes there, having new other animals as new characters that they can tell other cartoons with, have other stories with and stuff there. But I digress. But Playboy Penguin, he hasn't had as many cameos as far as I recall here. I know he was in Space Jam, and he was also in that Bah Humduck thing, as well as in one shot there. But they haven't used him as much. Then again, they used everybody in Space Jam. But I digress. But anywho, I could see this little character. I mean, the way people are with their fucking penguins nowadays. Well, not these days. I mean, it's been a few years. Like the Madagascar penguins and the Happy Feet and all that sort of thing. Like penguins were kind of a thing there for a little while, and they still kind of are a little bit with people. People like penguins and stuff there, so why not take advantage of that and go for this? But, yep, number 9, Playboy Penguin. But goddamn, change that name. Number 8, the Goofy Gophers, a.k.a. Mac and Tosh. And nope, I am not making that up there. This is obviously no connection to the Apple computer of the same name. Well, the thing is, it's Mac and Tosh, not Macintosh. Yeah, but the Goofy Gophers, they actually have had a few cartoons. They've been in 8 of them, starting with the Goofy Gophers in 1947. And let's get this out of the way real quick here. Some people think that they were like a rip-off or inspired by Chippendale, the Disney characters. And I would assume that the Chippendale came out earlier, if I recall correctly. But other than the fact that they're both little cute critters, that talk weirdly. Chippendale has that very high-pitched thing, almost like the Chipmunks. Whereas the Goofy Gophers speak very clearly, but they're very polite. Oh, please, after you. No, I insist, after you. Oh, well, thank you. That sort of thing, But yeah, they're very cute little characters there. But I can see that sort of thing, I can see the juxtaposition for that there, and they have used them. They've had some modern appearances there. They don't have a lot of merchandise, but I've seen some modern appearances. They popped up, of course, in Space Jam, Sylvester and Tweety. They actually appeared in Duck Dodgers, of all things, and, of course, the most recent Looney Tunes show. So, Warner Brothers clearly has faith in these characters, so, hey, that's good. I mean, I don't... In my mind, I don't see them up there in that pantheon there yet, but, that's just me then. But, still, they're pretty cool. Yeah, they're more than cool. They're goofy. Next. Incoming! Number 7, Beaky Buzzard. This one probably would have been higher on the list when I was looking through the list and trying to think of the characters or whatever. This one was one of the first characters I thought of there, and I thought this guy should definitely be very high on the list there. But upon thinking of some of the other characters or whatnot there, he just kind of moved down the list a little bit there. But it's not his fault or whatnot there. This guy's had 4 appearances in the classic era there, beginning in 1942 with Bugs Bunny Gets the Boyd. And he's had a lot of cameos, and, even some fairly recent memorable ones. So, one of them I didn't even know about was in Tasmania, of all things. So, kudos there for diversifying a little bit there. He was in Tiny Toons, and he had a young protege modeled after him. He was also in Duck Dodgers, the Looney Tunes show, and also he's one of the few on this list, if I recall correctly, that actually was on the team. At one point when Michael Jordan's trying to think of somebody to play, if he's gonna have Newman go out and play, Wayne Knight, I'm kidding, Wayne Knight, have him play, and all the Looney Tunes are all bandaged up and everything like that, and you can clearly see it's Beaky Buzzard there as one of the characters bandaged up on the bench. So he was on the team, so he is basically a Looney Tune in my opinion there, and he's one of my favorite characters, and he had a little bit of merchandise there, not too much, but he's in the same situation in my mind, similar to Taz and Marvin the Martian there. Like, I could see, like, if they tweaked it and marketed him a little bit differently, they could do that as well. There's a couple of these characters I feel like could do that there, but, very lovable character. My mama done told me bring out something for dinner. Well, oh, no, don't tell me, no, don't tell me. It's a rabbit. Okay, that was a little bit goofy at the end there, literally. Not my intention. I just came up with something off the cuff there in terms of trying to do an impression of him there. I used to be pretty good at impressions there. I worked at the Warner Brothers store for a few years, the brick and mortar store, up until they closed. Remember, though, one of my favorite jobs. Got to hang out and got to do a lot of see a lot of neat stuff there, but I digress. Anyway, Beaky Buzzard. Let's move on. Number 6, Cecil Turtle. Yeah, he had 3 appearances in the classic era there, with Tortoise Beats Hare being the first one in 1941. And he's one of the few characters to ever get a one-up over Bugs Bunny there, and maybe that's the reason why he's, not utilized as much, or when he is utilized, he's more of a villain. He's popped up in Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, Animaniacs, Space Jam, and the Looney Tunes show for some of his other cameos there, but, people like Turtles, and, it's a good underdog story there. The Tortoise and the Hare is a great fable for a reason there, because it shows that, hey, through hard work and perseverance there, you can accomplish anything, whether or not that's very realistic is debatable, but you get the point I'm trying to make there. It tells a good story, so... and Cecil is one of those characters you definitely don't underestimate there, so I had to throw him on the list there, because he's a cool character there. Not utilized as much these days, but, still, he's pretty cool, so let's move on.
Shh, be very, very quiet.
What's up, Doc?
I'm hunting for the sharpest VCR picture.
Then what are you doing over there? Sony Super Beta has a picture like real life. 20% sharper than the one that beat VHS.
Pesky rabbit.
And only Sony has this super special effects wheel.
I'll give you a special effect, rabbit.
Oh, sorry, Doc. Super Beta is sharper. Sony, the one and only.
A message from your Shriners Hospitals.
I'll spring the old bedroom quiz on them.
Daffy, what are you doing here?
Well, it's quiz time. First question. How do you burn-proof a bedroom?
One was that gadget up there.
Aha, a smoke detector. Every home should have at least one.
But just having one isn't enough. Kids should know the sound a smoke detector makes.
And what does that sound mean, kids?
It means get out of the house. And fast.
How?
Escape routes. Right, the whole family should map out a few different ways to get out of the house if there's a fire.
A meeting place is most important, so everyone knows everyone else is okay. True or false? Under the bed is the best place to go during a fire.
That's false. You should never hide under the bed.
What about the closet?
That's a definite no-no too, Daffy.
Make sure your family gets an A on my burn prevention quiz, okay?
What's this? A letter for me.
Number 5, Gossamer. Yes, y'all should have seen this one coming there. Now, this guy, to be fair, this character has had his shot there, and I think he's probably the one that is the most likely to make that crossover into the pantheon of Looney Tunes characters, and he has, in a way. He started in 1946 in A Hair-Raising Hare, and he's had 3 appearances in the classic era. But he also, he also had an appearance in one of the later cartoons from the 80s, Duck Dodgers and the Return of the 24th and a Half Century in 1980, where he actually was given his name. And he's popped up in Tiny Toons, Space Jam, Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, and the Looney Tunes show there. So good for him, though. Yeah. Yeah. He's, he's supposed to be scary, but he's really scared of everything. He's all made of hair or whatnot there, and definitely not like any character you've ever seen on Looney Tunes, that's for sure there. it was weird because that was one of the questions I got the most when I worked at a Warner Brothers store. People would always ask me, "Hey, that red monster that's in the Looney Tunes or whatever, does he have a name? What's his name?" You know, that was the question I got the most there. The other questions being, is Tweety a boy or a girl? And luckily at that time, the direct-to-video movie called Tweety's High-Flying Adventure came out, where we were given concrete proof for people that were doubters. Contrary to popular belief, this is what I used to tell people. Contrary to popular belief, Tweety is a boy, because in Tweety's High-Flying Adventure, he has a girlfriend. There you go. Boom. Tweety's a boy. There you go. End of discussion there. The others were like, do we have insert blank here? You know, Casper, Popeye, Betty Boop, or whatever, you know. Too bad Warner Brothers doesn't buy these characters, because these guys all still have their own merchandising in their own way there. I think Betty Boop more so than anybody else. Like, seriously, has anybody from the modern era ever seen a Betty Boop cartoon? I've seen one or two of them, don't get me wrong, and they're fun for what they are, you know, don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, when you say Betty Boop to people, most people think merchandise, rather than, or maybe that cameo in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's the first time I saw her. I had no idea who she was at that point there. But then I learned later on, and I got respect for her as a character and whatnot, you know. But she's pretty much just a merchandising thing now. But whatever. Anyway, more rambling that you didn't care to hear. Let's move on. Number 4, Private Snafu. And here's your curveball, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we got a curveball here, ladies and gentlemen, here. Private Snafu, which, according to many people, stood for Situation Normal, All F***ed Up, or Situation Normal, All Fouled Up. Yes. Some of you probably... If you know who he is, without me telling you, kudos to you. You're definitely a true Looney Tunes fan, and a true animation fan there. Okay, you're probably wondering, who the heck is this? Okay, I'll give you a quick bit of backstory there, okay? He was a character made by Warner Brothers and the UPA, because this was a character to be included in the U.S. Army and Navy's screen magazines, you know, for the soldiers in World War II. Walt Disney was given the first crack at it, but Warner Brothers ended up getting the contract for two reasons, if I recall correctly. They underbid Disney, and also Warner Brothers, well, Disney rather, they wanted exclusive merchandising rights to the character, which the government wasn't going to do. So, and also exclusive ownership of him, whereas Warner Brothers were like, heck with that, nah. So, yeah, there you go. So, there you go. So it was created, so this character was created by the head honcho of that, of the film, Military Film Corporation, or whatever the heck it was called at the time there, none other than Mr. Frank Capra, who created such masterpieces as You Can't Take It With You and It's a Wonderful Life, among many other great films. So, if you don't know who the fuck Frank Capra is, Google him and watch his movies. I guarantee you will not be sorry. That dude is a legend. I have his box set. But anyway, and also some of the shorts of this Private Snafu character were actually written by a then unknown fella by the name of Theodore Geisel, who would come to be famous later on as Dr. Seuss, creator of classics like Green Eggs and Ham, The Cat in the Hat, and The Grinch. So, already he's got a good pedigree going on there. So, let's see here. Yeah, so he started in 1943 with, let me see here. What is the name of that short here? My apologies, I just had to look it up. I thought I had it written down here. Coming Snafu from 1943. He was in 26 shorts, and there was some of them that were reportedly made but were never released for whatever reason. So whether or not those actually still exist or whatnot, I don't know, or even if they did exist to begin with. He actually was killed in 6 of his shorts, oddly enough, but the shorts that are known to exist all still exist, obviously, and I believe they're all in public domain, so you can watch them online legally for free if you want to, because it's been many, many years, so anything uber important in there has been declassified there. But anyway, the character, he was a private, army private, and basically he was an example of showing the army people what not to do, while also getting involved in humorous situations in his own way there, Yeah. It's one of the few characters that hasn't really made a lot of cameos. I think there was a purported cameo in an Animaniacs or whatnot, but that's about it. Hasn't really popped up a lot lately, but maybe because they got Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd, I don't know. But I would like to see Private Snafu given another shake at it there, I don't know how they would do the character there, but still, he's a very important character in the Looney Tunes pantheon. Very underrated, so, that's why I'm giving him a spot on this list here. All right, let's move on.
Hey, smart boy.
Number 3, Petunia Pig. Of course, we gotta shout out the ladies, of course, there. Technically, I believe she had only 3 appearances in the classic era there, beginning in 1937 with Porky's Romance, which was a pretty odd parody of Mickey's Nightmare. That's what I'm thinking of there. Because in that one, he marries Minnie, and I don't know why that would be a nightmare for him. For a while, I thought Mickey was Minnie in drag. But I digress. I don't know. But there were cameos later on, like in Daffy Duck and Porky Pig Meet the Groovy Ghoulies, of all things. And then also Duck Dodgers, Tiny Toons, the Looney Tunes show, and even Baby Looney Tunes, of course, most certainly. At least it's not the Skeeter situation there, where it only existed in the baby form, but not in the adult form there. Seriously. Somebody from Disney, get on the horn. If you want to make a really interesting Muppet movie there, have one where you have an adult Skeeter and, explain her backstory a little bit, and have her and Scooter reconcile after some beef that they had when they were babies or whatnot there, and, have shenanigans all the way there, and that could tell an interesting, compelling story, man. Seriously. Who wouldn't want to see a movie about an adult Skeeter? Come on. So, anyway, more rambling. Moving on.
Juggernauts!
Number 2, Miss Prissy. That old-ish, not really that old, but the hen with the little blue bonnet and the big glasses who would always say, yes. Yeah, she got, let's see here. She technically got her start in her current form in 1950 with an egg scramble, and she's made 7 appearances in the classic era. Although there was a variant of her, the female hen character-ish in 1936 with Let It Be Me, and then there were others and whatnot there, but pretty much every appearance of her, she's either an old maid or purported to be a widow, mother to Egghead Jr., and she has had cameos in things like the Looney Tunes show and whatnot there, but I don't know. I just feel like with the modern audiences, I think if you tweak it a little bit, and you could tell a really good story that way, but still entertain and make them laugh with Miss Prissy at the helm there, because I'm all about women equality there and whatnot. So give the women a chance to shine. Don't have the Looney Tunes just be a total sausage fest there. Yes, I just said that. Okay. All right. So now we're up to number 1. Here we go.
What's this? A letter for me.
Number 1, Barnyard Dog, or Barnyard Dog, D-A-W-G. Yeah. You've seen this character before. He's the one that's always the foil to Foghorn Leghorn there. This character has had 22 appearances in the classic era there, but come on. How many of you knew that was his name? Barnyard Dog. That's it. That's his name. That's the name there. Yeah. Yeah, he started back in 1946 with Walkie Talkie Hockey, and he's had some cameos, and he's popped up in some stuff there, and I believe he was also another one, like Beaky Buzzard, who was also on the team for Space Jam, playing along there, and he's been in things like Looney Tunes Back in Action, Baby Looney Tunes, the Looney Tunes show, and there you go. And he's been the foil for he's most popularly known for being the foil to Foghorn Leghorn, but he's also been the foil and whatnot for Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, and Elmer Fudd. So he's had a chance to work with a variety of different people. Kind of like Sylvester. You know, Sylvester's managed to work with a lot of different people. Like he's worked with Porky, Tweety, obviously, and Daffy Duck and whatnot there, you know. Speedy Gonzales, you know. It's pretty amazing, though, how they do that. How sometimes the characters can cross over, even though they're all in the same universe, obviously, but the way that they all tend to know each other and whatnot and have adventures with each other or with each other, against each other, and all that stuff there, you know? But every dog should have his day. Every dog has its day, and hopefully this dog's day will come sooner rather than later there. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. But anywho, these characters are all great, and, you know, it's up to personal preference and whatnot there. I mean, there's other characters I could have mentioned as well, like, whatchamacallit, what the heck were their names? You know, like that really cute mouse, Sniffles, or Herbie and Birdie, you know, those two mice that, you know, have been in a few cartoons here and there. I mean, to be fair, they both popped up in Space Jam and had cameos and other things as well. So, you know, argument can be made for any of the characters that are not part of the main pantheon. Obviously, some characters are going to be more popular than others. I get that, but you know, just wanted to throw my 2 cents there on these characters specifically. So, all right. Well, that's it. That's all the time I got here for this right now, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing my lovely voice there. Catch you next time there, or I come up with something else there. And come up with, check out some more of my random videos I throw on YouTube there, my top 10s, and time permitting, of course. You know, it's hard to do this when you're a one-man show. But, anywho, I'll catch y'all next time there, and have a good day. Laters! That's all, folks.